Welcome everybody. This is part 2 of 3 on my lecture video on section P.1. So if you haven't seen part 1, please go and watch it now. In this video, we're going to be discussing a few important sets of numbers and their notation. Let's get started. Once again, many of you are probably going to be familiar with these definitions already, but in case you're not, this video will help guide you through some of the notation and words that we're going to be using in our class. Starting with the natural numbers. Now, when I talk about natural numbers, these are really just our counting numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. And you'll notice that I denote this typically with a double-barred capital N, which you can see here. These curly braces are denoting a set. A set is really just a collection of stuff. You don't need to know more about it than that just yet. Similarly to our natural numbers, we also have the whole numbers. The whole numbers include all the natural numbers plus 0, right? So there are counting numbers starting from 0. And we denote those with a double-barred W. If N is for natural and W is for whole, you probably would guess that the integers are denoted with a Z. The integers are all the whole numbers together with their opposites, right? So this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on, as well as 0, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4, and so on. Together, the natural, whole, and integers sort of make up what you might associate our counting numbers to be. Rational numbers are just a little bit trickier. So you may have heard of these as the set of all terminating or repeating decimal numbers. And that is an accurate description. But the description that I prefer to go with is the one given here. Rational numbers are all the fractions, where I have an integer over another integer. Irrationals are numbers that are non-repeating and non-terminating decimals, right? So those are things like the square root of 3, right? Which is 1.73205, blah, 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 blah. There is no pattern that repeats there. Perhaps the most famous irrational number of all time is pi, 3.14159, blah, 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 blah. Right? And some people use a double-barred capital I to denote the irrational numbers. Last but not least, sort of our overarching set of numbers that we are going to be primarily concerned with are the real numbers. And these are the set of all rationals together with all irrationals, right? So it's either x is rational or x is not rational. And I'd like to point something out here. This notation means is in. And this vertical bar means such that. So the way that I would read this sentence is that R, which are my real numbers, R is the set of all x such that, oh, and let me scroll just a little bit more. It's the set of all x such that x is in the rationals or x is irrational. And I've got a couple different ways of writing that down here. Please be sure to look over these notes again. You can find the written version of the notes uploaded on Blackboard, and be sure to familiarize yourself with those symbols because I'm going to be using them moving forward in our videos. That's going to be it for this one. I'll see y'all in the next one.